All right, we're back on live here. We're got the risotto to the what we call the blanch stage. So you're gonna get the risotto in a container, and it'll look like this once you put it in the pan. So I'm gonna show you how to finish the risotto, and then we're gonna go ahead and do the crispy salmon. So to start with the crispy salmon, what you do is you put your pan. You want a good pan, a good seasoned pan. It doesn't have to be non-stick. What keeps it from sticking is the heat. So we get the pan on the fire and we get it nice and hot. We're going to go ahead and add a little bit of olive oil. That's what we use over here at 1894, just a little virgin olive oil. The oil will tell you when it's time to add the salmon. And right now you can see it's not at the smoking stage. It's just kind of moving around in the pan. It's getting hot though. So while that's getting hot, we're just going to lightly season this beautiful pink salmon. We have a little bit of sea salt. We're going to go ahead and hit it right here. Just a real light crust of seasoning, not too much. A few cracks of fresh ground pepper. I like pepper. If you don't like pepper, don't put the pepper in there. You don't have to. Season it to your liking. Okay, so now we have this pan is starting to get it. Basically, it creates a non-stick surface with the heat. So when I put this in there, I'm going to lay the salmon away from me so it doesn't splash. There's not a ton of oil, so I'm not really deep frying. This is really what you'd call pan roasting. Okay, so you can see this. Go ahead and focus in on there. You can see where you're starting to get that smoke off the oil there. That's perfect. Okay, so the salmon is pretty dry. You do not want a wet piece of fish and throw into a hot oil. That'd be bad. So it's been pre-dried. It's just natural. Okay, so now I'm just going to take the oil and I'm just going to lay the salmon in there. I'm going to do 2 pieces. And you'll see right away, I can move the fish in there freely like it's a non-stick pan. You can see that right away. So it's moving freely in the pan. It didn't stick to it. If the pan was cold, if the oil was cold, it's going to stick. Okay, so what makes this so good is that crunchy, crispy texture on the outside, the very soft texture in the middle of what salmon has. So I'm going to show you the technique. I'm not moving the salmon around, I'm just letting it sear. So you don't have to sit there and do this and do that. You can do it 2 ways. You can go ahead and flip it, or you can go ahead and turn it with a spatula, whatever you feel comfortable. You want to remove a little bit of the oil if you're going to flip it. It's about 2 minutes to 3 minutes, depending on your salmon. So let's say this salmon here it's probably about 3/4 of an inch thick. So I'll be able to pretty much finish the salmon in the pan if I want it a little medium rare, which I like it that way. But if I want it more well done, I can put it in the oven and I can show you that move too. So while that fish is getting crispy, we're going to go ahead and finish this risotto. So the risotto is in the pan. You're going to basically unveil it out of the container, and you're going to have the stock that you're going to get in your box, and you're going to start adding that to the risotto. And once again, a lot of stirring. Risotto, you want to cook it. You want the risotto kind of at a medium-low temperature. So I'm draining off the oil, and then I'm just giving it a nice little flip like that. Boom. That's beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and sear the other side. You can see the temperature of that pan made it so the fish moves freely in it. I'm just adding it one ladle at a time, the stock that you're going to receive, nice and hot, and just kind of stir it with a wood spoon. And you can see it's starting to bubble, you can see the liquids are soaking into the rice, and the rice is going to be al dente. This rice will have wild mushrooms in it, roasted wild mushrooms in it. I'm just making you the creamy risotto, but yours will have the wild mushrooms in it. Those come in for the bottom. Okay, so let's say I do want it well done. Now I have it crispy. I can just throw it in the oven for 1 minute or two, set it, forget it. Or let's say I'm going to have a dinner party and I want to have crispy salmon for it. You could sear off that salmon, get it nice and crispy, put it on a pan. When it's time to eat, risotto's just right, everybody's ready to eat. Boom, finish it in the oven, it's ready. So, okay, so while that's working, I'm finishing up the risotto. I have a little bit more risotto. I'm just adding about a couple ounces at a time and stirring it constantly. Risotto is pretty much a blank slate of whatever you want to cook. I want to throw bacon in it. You can throw bacon in it. You want to throw fresh herbs, which we're going to do. And then we have like herb and rice. Mix up your cheeses. Add tomato, which we have on our upcoming menu. We finish it with tomato soup, and that's a French classic style. That's just fantastic. It's really good. So, but this right here, we're finishing it with just stock. We're going to finish it with a little bit of cheese, a little bit of whole butter, and then we're going to finish it with some herbs. And so you'll see that, and it's just so nice. You do not want to overcook your risotto. You want a little bit of it to be al dente, which means there's a little bit of a tooth to the rice. And then, and the way you'll know that is by coming over, grabbing a spoon out of your cabinet, and just give it a taste. Just about there. Just about there. So the last of the stock will go in. If you're really trying to watch your calories, you don't have to put the cheese and the butter in there. You can eat it like this, but it does really enhance it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and check the salmon. As you can see, the texture on it's very crispy. It's golden brown, and it's got such a lovely golden crust on it. That's going to I love that crispy texture, and it just takes the salmon to a new level. So we're going to go ahead and plate this up. This risotto is just about there.